Oh my goodness, guys. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome back here to the Bourbon Basement. And this show's already off the rails. So, of course, the setup's messed up. Producerless tonight. I'm Ryanless tonight. It's just you and me. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. So, if anybody's out there watching and you can hear me, this is my work phone. Text that bad boy because I can't see the comments. My producer will be here in a little bit, everybody, and the comments can roll and we can talk like that. But tonight, we're drinking buddies, right? You and I, we're drinking buddies. We're here every Friday or just about, and we talk some bourbon and we talk a little history. And tonight, it's going to be about the same thing, but right now, I'm going to change it up just a little bit because I need a drink. So we're going to go ahead and pour. I'm pouring Black Saddle Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, aged 12 years. If you all don't have this bottle, I understand. But if you have it, that's great. If you have a Heaven Hill product, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, you might go ahead and grab your Heaven Hill product and have a pour of it tonight. Once again, I may not even be on air. I don't know. But it's one of those Fridays. So it's just been this is the week before vacation. Trying to get all your ducks in a row at work. So everything's kind of chaotic and hectic anyway. You finally get out of the office and you no more than step foot in the door and you get a phone call. You got a broken pole and wire down everywhere. So I'm making calls trying to get guys, and they're saying, hey, you're on vacation, man. Don't worry about it. So thanks to those guys. Thanks for my crew taking care of things today and for the next couple of weeks, because I am off for the next couple of weeks. Cheers, everybody out there. We're going to do this a little different tonight. I'm kind of venting, I guess, a little bit. Rise at work again. Working late, making that money. Hey, maybe he'll bring some bottles in to help support the Bourbon Basement. That would be good. And I say that in jest. He's not here to jest with me, but I say that in jest because he has brought, just a couple weeks ago, he brought in a small batch E.H. Taylor. So he's doing his part a little bit at a time. Guys, I know we do this later, and I'm going to continue to do it later, but I do like to get a little bit of stuff in here before I take my drinks all the time. All right, so I do got a text. This is a show related, so we hear you. And so that means I am on air and I am being heard. So I hope this turns out to be a good show. Hopefully my producer will get in here in a minute. We can comment on the show and she can read those. That gets her involved a little bit. She does not like to be on camera. But anyway, we'll get it going. But right now I'm going to do a little bit of nosing on this thing. This is the 12-year Black Saddle. And we'll talk a little bit more about this specific bottle, kind of about the people that produce it, a little bit about Kentucky bourbon, because I learned a lot researching this particular bottle. All right, guys, so right off the bat, what I smell with this particular bottle, it takes me back to my childhood, sitting on my Aunt Peggy's lap. She's reading the Berenstain Bears or whatever the Mandela effect is on that, but it was that book, those little bears. She read them to me all the time. I sat there and I had an unlimited source of those little caramel, squared or cubed caramels. That's what I get out of this right from the bat. I get those little caramel squares, like when I take them out of that clear plastic wrapper. So that takes me back. So that's always good. On a secondary note, my sniffer's not real good. I got the allergies. It's that time of year here in Kentucky. But the secondary kind of thing I'm picking up, I say candy store a lot when something's super sweet. This has got that super sweet note of, I think that's the same one going over. It's got a super sweet note, but it reminds me of those hard candy ribbons. I guess it's around Christmas time you get those candy ribbons. Granny used to have that candy. I don't even know if they still make it, but that's kind of what it. So this bourbon, if it's doing nothing else, it's taking me back. But I haven't said it, guys. If y'all haven't grabbed a drink, this episode's going to be a lot better if you're about too deep. And I wish I was already. And like I said, been one of those weeks, one of those days. Just getting started with the show a little bit different. I hope this is good. It's on the phone. It's backwards. I can't see anything. But grab a drink and let's be drinking buddies tonight. I'll quit venting here in a minute and I'll be able to get this show going. All right. So let's talk about this particular bottle. Black Saddle 90 proof 12-year Kentucky straight bourbon. Now, this is from Frank-Lynn Distillery's distillery facility in Fairfield, California. So, how can a Kentucky bourbon come from Fairfield, California? We'll talk about that. But what I want to talk about more about this particular bottle, and I need to skip over to third page. This particular bottle was first released in 2014. They come out strong. They went to that San Francisco World Spirits competition. They got a double gold medal, and it actually won the best small batch bourbon in 2014. This bottle I got from an auction without knowing any of the history. Saw this bottle. All I saw, and you all know I can elect Kentucky bourbons. I want to try all Kentucky bourbons. So all I saw was Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey and 12 years. Because regardless if I want to be or not, I'm drawn to these older age-stated bourbons. Not that they're better. Sometimes I don't think they are. But I'm drawn to them. I want to taste them more than I want to taste just one that says Kentucky straight bourbon. You know, I want to taste the one with the age statement more. I don't know why. It's just how I am. I'm wired that way. I want to taste them. Because I know every drop of bourbon in this bottle is at least 12 years old, right? So, this is that bottle. It's got a little code etched on it here, and when you look up that code, this bottle is a 2014 bottle. This particular bottle in 2014, and the reason it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, came from, we think, doing deep dives, and I talk about that in a little bit, Heaven Hill Distillery. Our producer just walked in the house. Thank you, produce. I think the show's on. I think people can hear me. I've had some comments.
Yep.
Do you have any comments that have come in on the show that I need to know? All right. All right, guys, if you all want to comment on the show, you can comment now. My producer will read those off and we can get some answers. But this particular bottle, back to it, came from Heaven Hills Distilleries, we think. Because they don't disclose the distilleries, they don't disclose the mash bill. And that's not unusual for sourced bourbons. But this particular bottle, Heaven Hill, 12 years old. Won awards, won the best small batch bourbon. Got it, and that's the one I'm trying tonight. Now, the reason I say this particular bottle is because when I started researching this and I started looking for Black Saddle bourbons around, like at liquor stores and stuff, I couldn't find any on the shelves. Go back into the online stores, and even when they're sold out, if they've ever had the bottle, Liquor Barn here, it's our big kind of box store, the big one that has most everything most of the time. If they've sold out of it, even if it was 10 years ago, they usually have it on there and how much it was. So this, not this particular bottle, but a Black Saddle bottle was on there, and it just said straight bourbon whiskey. It did not say Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So I don't know that they're still getting their bourbon from Kentucky or Heaven Hill, or if they're blending it with some other states' bourbons. I don't know what it's going to go. And in looking up the history of this, there isn't any recent history. And I think it's because they're kind of out of the limelight. and that goes back to this 2024 or 2014 competition. They're kind of resting on that reputation because when it debuted, they went out, they won those awards, and they've never entered again in any of these big awarded whiskey shows. This one I got at the auction for $20, and this is that coveted bottle that kind of set them off. They say the prices retail for about $55, but on the Liquor Barn's website it was $70. Anyway, so we talked about some of the smells that I had on it already because I kind of did this backwards, venting a little bit and everything else. And I'm gonna drink this as we go too. So.
Might as
What's
well.
no funny, Bruce?
Nothing. Might as well. Let's do it.
Might as well. We're getting into this. You want me to pour you some here?
Yeah.
You want to drink it now, or you want to do like the official tasting at the end?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
This bottle, the reason I'm doing it is because it's about gone, and Ryan has enjoyed this as well as me, so I don't feel like he's missing out on anything because he knows this bourbon. He's tasted this bourbon. Can you reach it there?
Yes.
All right. All right. So when I did my smells, they're produced. I got took me back to my childhood. Those little cube caramel candies that you unwrap. It reminded me of Peggy sitting on her lap. And then those, like at Christmas time, those hard candy ribbons, like Granny used to have. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
That's the candy store kind of vibe I get with it. That's about all I was getting out of it. So let's get back to how Kentucky bourbons can come from California and what actually makes a Kentucky bourbon, because I learned a lot in the research of this. So we all know bourbon rules. Bourbon has all these rules. For example, made in America. New charred oak barrel has to be aged in that. Doesn't have a time. That's what all this other stuff is for. The straight and the bottled in bond and then age stated and all that kind of stuff. So all those, those little rules, you can't have additives, all that kind of stuff. Well, Kentucky bourbon has to follow all those national bourbon rules. But Kentucky adds a little bit more. So to be a Kentucky bourbon, it just has to be distilled and aged in Kentucky for, they say, like one season cycle, which is a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter. So basically 1 year. So it has to be distilled and aged in Kentucky for 1 year to be a Kentucky bourbon. Notice I didn't put straight on there. So just a Kentucky bourbon. Some of the things that I learned, and I knew that a straight bourbon was aged at least 2 years old. What I didn't realize is if you see, it doesn't have to be Kentucky, any straight bourbon on the label of any bottle, if it says straight bourbon whiskey, it's at least 2 years old. But if it's under 4 years old, it has to have the age of the bourbon on there. So if you see straight bourbon whiskey, and in this case, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, it has to be aged at least 2 years. But if there is no age statement, so if it doesn't say 3 years, 2 years and 4 months, or 3 years and 8 months, that means it's aged over 4 years. So a Kentucky or a straight bourbon whiskey is aged 2 years plus. If it's under 4 years, they have to put an age statement. If it's 4 years or older, they do not have to put an age statement on it. So that's just a little FYI. I didn't realize that. I thought Kentucky straight bourbon was 2 years old plus, and that's it. But I didn't realize under 4, to be a straight bourbon, you have to have the age statement. Now, if you don't put straight on there and you just put bourbon whiskey, not straight, you don't have to age state it at all. So it could be aged 10 months, it could be aged 6 months, it could be aged a year. Doesn't matter. That is for, I'm guessing, those craft distillers that put it in the small containers, because they cannot age that stuff 2 years or 4 years, because that small container gets so much of that wood in there, it probably wouldn't be worth drinking. So that was a little bit of something I knew. So now we go to Kentucky straight bourbon. I told you all that Kentucky bourbon had to be aged 1 year in Kentucky. Then you could take it somewhere else. You could still call it Kentucky bourbon. but you couldn't call it straight bourbon unless it's aged for at least 2 years in Kentucky. All right, so then if you have a Kentucky straight bourbon, you've aged it 2 years in Kentucky, you take it over to Ohio and you age it longer, to still call it a Kentucky straight bourbon, if it was only there 2 years, you would have to put, even if you aged it 4 more, you're going to have to put 2-year statement on there or drop the word Kentucky and just have straight bourbon whiskey. All right, so that was some stuff I cleared up in my own head. Does that make sense to anybody else? Okay. It made sense to me after I read it, but what got me with this one, so me personally, when I saw Kentucky straight bourbon, I said, well, there's a lot of people that source Kentucky bourbon. They buy young barrels, they take them to wherever they are. This one's in California, and they age them. And then it's still a Kentucky straight bourbon. That is not how that works at all. It is only a Kentucky straight bourbon if it's been here for 2 years or more. And then you would have to put that age statement on there. So it has to be here at least 4 years to be an unaged stated Kentucky straight bourbon. It has to age in Kentucky at least 4 years, or you have to put the age statement on it or drop Kentucky. The other thing is, this one has an age statement. So this I did not know, 12 years. That means with the word Kentucky on there, that this bourbon, every drop of bourbon in this particular bottle was aged in Kentucky for at least 12 years. So if it says Kentucky, that means, and it has an age statement, whether it be 8 years, 12 years, or 80 years, it's aged in Kentucky that long. If you buy a 10-year bourbon, age it for 5 years in California, and you want Kentucky on the label, you can only make it a 10-year bourbon. You can't make it a 15. Or you can drop the word Kentucky and make it a 15-year bourbon. So that was interesting to me. Sorry I went on that, but that was kind of some rabbit holes I jumped in because I learned something during this episode, right? This is a good bourbon. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this particular bottle, we talked about how probably rare this one is, and they don't do the shows anymore, and some of the newer bottles that I've seen don't have Kentucky on it, so they're sourcing from somewhere else or blending these bourbons somewhere else. But how could this particular bottle be from California? I just told you it had to be aged in Kentucky 12 years, so that means that the Frank-Lynn distillery purchased 12-year-old barrels of bourbon that were distilled and aged in Kentucky for at least 12 years. That's why everybody first got on Heaven Hill with this particular bottle. So, now do they come here, get the barrels, take them back to California, dump them and bottle them? No, that's not how Frank-Lynn Distillers does it. What they do, they come here, they pick their barrels that they want, they dump those barrels into a tanker truck, so they never haul or store barrels. They put that liquid in a tanker truck, they haul that back to California, they haul that to their massive 200,000 square foot warehouse, let me see what it is. Well, I've kind of got off my thing. It's just a typical day. That's why I'm drinking a little bit early. Custom designed strictly for rectifying, blending, bottling, and for case good distribution. So they got this big 200,000 square foot area that is specialized for rectifying, blending, bottling, and distributing of case goods. They are not built to store any barrels, so they don't age any barrels in California. So everything they had was aged in Kentucky, dumped, put in here. Now, a little bit, I think I talked all this. Give me a second while I take a sip. Take a sip, cheers. Get your second one or third one down. It's probably getting better and better the more you drink it. Mm. And I know some of y'all had a week out there yourselves. Thank you, brother, and that's all I'm going to say for that. If you're out there and you're listening, because I know you've probably had a week yourself, and you should already have 2 or 3 of these down by now. and this show should be really enjoyable for you. And I say, and my sister too, she was on vacation.
I'd say she's had plenty.
with my mother. So if you all are out there, you all both probably need to be drinking. Anyway, I'm joking, family. I'm getting ready to leave too, so don't give me the evil eyes or nothing. I'm just joking. But anyway, I think most of this I talked about. We're just gonna call it that.
Okay.
Call that
Ow.
All right. So I talked about the distillery. So this one here, Frank Lynn Distillers. You've heard me talk about that time and time again. They were officially founded in 1966 by Frank, and I'm gonna mess his name up, Maestri, maybe. Mm-hmm. And they focus on rectifying and bottling. They make various spirits, including vodka, gin, brandy, and flavored liquors, and bourbons. They also specialize in contract bottling, and they do that for the Medley Brothers bourbon line. If you all don't know those, there's some other Kentucky bourbons, and that includes the Medley Brothers Old Medley and Wathan's Single Barrel. Now, Wathan's Single Barrel, that one stood out to me. I've been trying to get a bottle of that for a while, and I haven't got one. So they actually bottle that, so that'll be kind of the same thing in Kentucky bourbon, and it's going to have Frank Lynn Distillers on the back from California. Talked about them purchasing their stuff and bringing it down there to their facility. I think I'm hitting this pretty good. So
your brother
yeah,
made it home, and his lovely wife had a double Woodford poured for him.
A double. She knew what I'm thinking, right? No, we love you, Dad. My dad, he had an accident, broke his leg. My brother went to take care of him in Indiana. So he was away from his family, but he helped out my dad a lot. I know that I know my dad loved it. I know he loved it too. So this is all jest. But I am sure that being in Indiana away from his family, a nice, strong, double oaked Woodford would be really nice when you walk through the door.
Yes.
All right. I think that this show's probably moving really fast. 6:24. And then when I was talking about my sister, and my mother, they've been on vacation together. So if anybody's vacationed with their parents, they're like best friends. So it's not a big deal to them. But I would probably be kicking back some right now if I was Dana. And just joking, Mom. I'm just joking. Mom was on the show last week, guys. If you all never seen her, she was on the show last week. Doing the Mary Dowling. It wasn't a planned Mother's Day special, but I did hold the Mary Dowling bottles off for Mother's Day because she is the mother of bourbon. And Mom, I guess before she went on vacation, she said, "Hey, can I come and watch your show live? And I'll sit on the sofa." And I was like, "Sure." And I was going to surprise her and bring her up here. And our producer, she had the same idea and got her up here before I did. So I thought that was kind of cool. Now. So we talked about this being 2014 bottle. This particular one is from 2014. Luckily found it in an auction. Is a Kentucky bourbon because that's all I do. Some of the black saddle you find now won't have Kentucky on there. All right, so they're either blending it with other bourbons that aren't Kentucky bourbons, or they are not even getting it sourced from Kentucky. So because they are an NDP, they do not have to disclose their source or their mash bill, and they do not. And there was no inklings. Like I said, most of the articles, when I dive down rabbit holes on these things, I read magazine articles, old newspaper articles, I read all this stuff, and then I jump into where I go online and I watch reviews and everything else from like when these bourbons were very popular, because I don't, unlike some of these other YouTubers that get bourbons like given to them right off the assembly line, I do not. So it takes me a while to find these bottles, and I have to get lucky, just like you other collectors out there. I have to be in the right place at the right time to grab a special bottle. They don't just come to me. So everything that I get has been worked very hard for, and I've had to pay for it. So, one of these days maybe Maybe I'll get famous enough that I can get some samplings or something from these companies that I don't have to pay so much for, but oh well. This one I did find at the auction, so that was good, and $20. Not that this was a very expensive bottle retail, because it said 55. I saw it for 70 online, out of stock, of course. But $20, you know, I got it for, that's like about $45, $50 to my house, so I paid about retail for it. And anyway, I don't even know where I was going. That's kind of the week it's been. But I'm going on vacation, so next week, guys, I will be somewhere in Greece.
Whoop whoop! Yay!
Our producer's happy. I'm gonna need a lot of these on the plane, on the flight. It's like a 12-hour flight or something. For one of them, because there's like 3 or 4. I don't know how many planes we got to get on. Do you?
A few.
A few.
A few.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah.
Just a few. It's okay. But anyway, I want to do my show. I'm doing them on a phone anyway, so I want to do it in Greece. I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's going to cost me like $1 million to do a show on my phone in Greece. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm going to call AT&T tomorrow and find out. But anyway, just tune in Friday. If you're there between 6 and 6:05 and I ain't on the air, you know I'm not going to do it. If I am on the air, but throw one back for me, because I'll be throwing them back on the ship.
We're 6 hours difference.
Oh, 6 hours difference.
Yes.
Ooh, how do I do that?
Yeah, you'd be midnight.
Oh.
It'd be midnight over there. It's 6 o'clock here.
Oh, that'll be a great show. That would be a great show. I want to do it even more now. So midnight there is 6 o'clock here?
Yes.
I want to do it more.
Oh, okay.
I want to do that midnight show. Maybe they'll give us the theater down there. I'll be like, I need to do a Bourbon Basement episode. Can I have the stage?
Can I have some of the people as my audience?
Maybe they'll give me the
Bring
stage. And I was thinking, like, the last cruise I went on was Rock Hill Farms. Maybe I'll do Rock Hill Farms. Odds are probably not going to happen.
Probably not, but wishful thinking, right?
Mm-hmm. Still, I mean, you can tune in at 6 and throw one back for me, and
maybe you never know
you never
what
know
might happen.
what you're going to see. You may see me up in my sleep pants, and I don't know. All right, so let's get into you rare bourbon collectors. So back in the 50s and 60s, there was a Black Saddle bourbon. That is not this. There is no connection to lineage in the recipe. There's no connection to the corporation. So basically, what Frank Lynn did was they found abandoned, I guess, what do you call that? Trademark, and they rebooted an abandoned trademark. Now, according to them, the 50s and 60s version was kind of a bottom shelf, affordable, readily available bourbon that went defunct, you know. They got that and tried to make it a premium bourbon, and they succeeded in 2014. But then they stopped doing all that stuff, so it makes you wonder what you're getting now with it. So I don't know what you're getting now, and I couldn't find anything about it. But I do know this particular bottle, the consensus from all that history, all those articles, and all the reviewers is Heaven Hill, 12 years aged at Heaven Hill. So this particular bottle, it probably won the best small batch bourbon in that San Francisco competition for a reason. And now let's get to the taste. So you all knew the smells. I say caramel, candy, and hard candy ribbon. If you all know what I'm talking about, that's what I'm getting. You'll probably get some candy store vibes there because of big sweetness smell in there. The thing that I lose and I'm missing on a 12-year aged bourbon is the oakiness.
The barrel, yeah.
I'm missing the barrel. I like the barrel, guys. Some of y'all may not, and that's fine. If you don't, this may be a good bourbon for you. But when I see it's aged 12 years, I want to taste the age. I want to know that it's been in that barrel for 12 years. I want to know they've been meshing. That's what I like. And this, to me, it loses that mesh. So let's get to tasting now. I'm acclimated, so I'm going to go in and try to give you one. Our producer gets a little light pours, guys, so she's she's needing a refill.
My glasses are way teenier than yours too, so.
They are, and I'm doing kind of light pours for you anyway.
Okay.
I didn't know how many pours I would need tonight, so.
So you're saving some, make sure you.
I was saving it because the bottle's a little light too, so. Anyway.
It does have a really good smell.
All right, so as I stated earlier, where the little caramel cube candy smell jumped out at me, the taste that jumps out at me is cinnamon toast.
Yes.
Not a lot of butter. The last one I described that way, I described as a buttery, just real butter.
Well, it was more pastry-like.
Yeah, this doesn't have that smooth buttery taste. It's just, but it's got that cinnamon, and I still get a little bit of that bread. So I say a cinnamon toast. I taste some vanilla in there.
Yeah.
As well. I'm still missing the oak.
Yeah.
I'm still missing the oak.
For sure.
I get a mild peppery spice. I get some mild peppery spice, but I'm missing the oak, and that kind of disappoints me. And right now, my first thought when I drink this is it's good bourbon, but if it was the best bourbon in 2014, I mean, what was it up against, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot better 12-year-old bourbons. I mean, I can name 3 off the top of my head when I say Knob Creek 12-year, Evan Williams 12-year, and what's another? Eagle Rare 12.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 much better. But anyway, this is good. I'm not trying to take that away.
But they're a little more expensive than this one is too, though.
I guess retail, but I mean that was 12 years ago that this was supposed to be $55.
Right.
That's all I can really find on these. Black Saddle is still out because I saw a more recent bottle, but it did not have Kentucky on it.
Okay.
And then what I saw at Liquor Barn was sold out, but it was $70. So that's Knob Creek 12-year is cheaper than that. Eagle Rare 12-year, if you can find it for retail, is cheaper than that. And Evan Williams 12-year, I can't. That one I think they only sell at the distillery or overseas. So the ones I get on auction. I get them to my house about $80 to $85. I bid like $60 to $65 because I don't want to pay too much, but I'm still overpaying from retail. I know, but I love that Evan Williams 12-year, and I'll be doing a show on it before too long.
I like the flavor, but like you said, there's other bourbons in the same category that have a better flavor, better smell.
And this one's hard to find too. I mean, if I have some of my guys from other states that are out there watching, I don't know if you are because I can't see anything on this phone. But if you're out there, have you ever seen the Black Saddle in your states? They're very rare in our state, and I guess it comes from California. So, but they are a big distributor. That Frank Lynn, they boast about being a modern bottling company where they put out over 15 million cases of liquor, which includes the bourbon, the tequila, the gin, the brandy, and the flavored liquors, over 15 million cases a year. So I'm assuming that's a bunch of alcohol that they put out there.
For sure.
So, anyway, the finish is nice. I like the finish.
It's okay.
So as I sit here and talk, I take that sip and I drink. And
the smell to me is definitely better than the flavor, though.
You like the smell better than the flavor. The smell, it was good. It brought back childhood memories. I like that, and the bourbon, of course. It would be better if Ryan was here, someone else to enjoy it with, where we could talk and stuff like that. And that's kind of what bourbon is. And I miss Rise. I miss my co-host.
Yeah.
Working hard, like I said. The finish to me is a little bit better. It kind of stays with you a little bit. The taste kind of changes during the finish.
It does.
You get a little bit of that barrel dryness, so your barrel's starting to show up because you got just a tiny little hint of dryness in there. But then you get a little bit of peppery oak kind of on the finish. So I don't taste oak, I don't smell oak, but on the finish as it sits here and I talk more, I get a little bit of oakiness on the finish. This is a bottle, if you wanted to say, if you could find this particular bottle and you wanted to say that you had the best small batch bourbon of 2014, I guess that's something. Yeah, kind of looking sideways at you, yeah. I guess that would be something, but to have I don't know. To me, it just really wasn't that special. So it just kind of makes me think of
Not for being 12 years.
what competed with this.
Yeah, to
and
make
this
it the
to
best.
win. That to me. But it was in San Francisco, and they are California-based
Right.
bottling. Maybe that had something to do with it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's not a bad bourbon.
Mm-mm.
It just, in the category of 12 years and stuff, there's better bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, ow.
So I forgot to put a little bit of water in mine. I'm gonna try that and see if it opens it up a little bit.
It maybe will.
But this will probably be the last bottle of, I know this will be the last bottle of 2014 that I get. But if I find it in a store somewhere, it may be the last bottle anyway, because I didn't put no water in there. I'm gonna have to do this. Maybe the last bottle anyway, because they may not be making Kentucky bourbons anymore.
Well, that would
They
be
don't have Kentucky on the label. I can't get it because it ain't really a
right.
true Kentucky bourbon. Now, I guess if you had a Kentucky bourbon and you were from like Missouri or something, and you didn't want it to be a Kentucky, you don't have to put Kentucky on the label.
No.
But if it meets all the rules that Kentucky has, then you can put Kentucky
Right.
bourbon on the. But if it doesn't meet those rules, it's illegal. So I mean, they will stop you from doing that. All right, so puts a little bit of water in here, and we'll shake that around and see what that does. I don't know if it's my allergies or if the water just toned it down so much. I don't really smell anything. Just I got a little bit of vanilla note.
Mm.
So I think it drowns out. It is only 90 proof, guys. And I had another comparison. I did a little bit more research. It didn't really make sense. But when I found out this was a Heaven Hill product, I automatically, and it was a rye forward product, automatically went to this one, another Heaven Hill product, the Henry McKenna 10-year bottled in bond. So we know this is a Kentucky straight bottled in bond bourbon. So we know that this was at least 4 years old, and it was aged and distilled in Kentucky. But this is also a Heaven Hill product, and you can see the bottle's almost gone. So I kind of knew what I had with this one, and actually it reminds me a lot of this one. But this one I thought was better, and I don't know if it's those 10 proof points because it's way younger.
Mm-hmm.
I got more barrel and stuff.
No, it's just 2 years younger. That says
it's 10 year. Yeah, it's a 10-year bottled in bond. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, producer, for putting that out. So it's 2 years younger, and I get so much more oak and everything with this one.
Yeah.
Than I do this one. So
what's the proof on McKenna?
This is 100. It's bottled in bond.
So you got a little bit more proof on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a difference.
I don't know if I put too much water in it or not, but
It's just kind of.
don't drink this one on the rocks. I'm a little disappointed in the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, to be honest. I mean, this is a solid 7, maybe a 7.2 for my rating. I'm gonna give it a 7.2. It's not real special. It doesn't make the 8 and above shelf. And there's so many I'd like to know what showed up in 2014. Was it another COVID year I didn't know about, or?
COVID hadn't hit.
Anyway, so this one, guys, just overall review. It did take me back. So the smells I enjoyed. I enjoyed that caramel block. I enjoyed that candy ribbon. It took me back a little bit to my childhood. Gave me some good memories. I tasted the bourbon. I'm missing the oak. I'm missing the 12-year age statement. This does not taste 12 years old to me. It could be a younger bourbon, and I would believe it. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. If you like to taste the age, if you like that barrel taste, if you like that charriness, and that's the other thing, we don't know what char level those barrels were. It could have been a very light char. I mean, it's a light colored bourbon for 12 years old. But that's not my cup of tea. If you're gonna put it in the barrel for 12 years, let me taste the barrel.
Yeah.
Let me know you aged it.
That's for sure.
I'm not a big fan of the bottle. I don't like the squared off kind of shoulders of the bottle. I mean, doesn't this one look a lot better with the kind of rounded? This is just kind of, anyway, I'm not a big fan of that. Just the generic kind of black saddle on there. I guess if you was a saddle guy, you probably like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it does say the name. It's a pretty obvious statement for the name. What I did like about this the most was Kentucky Straight Bourbon and that 12 right there. But you might as well take that 12 off of there because you lose the 12. It doesn't taste like a 12-year bourbon.
Right.
All right. So, but the rating, I'll stick with I'm gonna go 7.2. I'm gonna go 7.2 on the rating, and I think that's as high as a ceiling I can give it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was thinking 6.7.
6.7. So you went even below.
6.7. 6.7.
6.7. You tossed it. 6.7. Doesn't make sense. I wonder what we did that was so silly as kids.
I'm sure we did a lot of silly stuff back then. We come
6.7.
up with a lot of
But
stupid
it
stuff.
kind of, you knew what it meant.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
they don't even know what 6.7 means.
I don't know. It's
All right.
yeah.
All right, guys. If nobody has any comments, we've made a show out of
We
this.
have, yeah.
So if nobody had any comments, I'm going to try to wrap this up. I need to really study Ryan's
Yeah.
exit log, I guess. Because me, it's just kind of appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, follow, tell your friends. Join us next week, hopefully. I'll be at midnight if I get to do it. 6 hours, really?
Yes. 6 hours.
6 hours. And we're ahead 6 hours. So it ain't like noon. And
No,
they can
they're
watch.
ahead. They're ahead 6 hours. So
They're ahead. That's what I mean. We would be ahead. So it would be midnight for us. We'll be partying.
are you listening?
Yes.
It's going to be midnight over there, so it'll be 6 o'clock here.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. We will be over there. So
Yes.
for us,
Oh,
it'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
midnight.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. It's like right now, it's like going on 1 o'clock in the morning over there.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're partiers anyway, right?
Oh, you know it.
We
Gosh.
bring the sun up on the shit.
Shoot.
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway. Anyway, guys.
With all that being said,
Tune in next week for 5 minutes and see that I'm not going to be on, maybe. And drink one back with me. Throw a comment at another video. Sorry, I'm sorry you didn't do one.
Oh.
Whatever.
why drink alone?
Yeah, just whatever.
Why
comment.
drink alone when you can drink with us?
That's my line.
Oh, okay, go ahead. No, it's really
She stole it.
it's
kinda
really
bad.
Ryan's line, but okay, go ahead.
It's our line.
Okay.
I guess you're telling me just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm wrapping it up, guys. Black Saddle? All right. Guys, tune in next time. Maybe 2 weeks from now, we'll be drinking buddies again. But anyway, guys, why drink alone
When you can drink with us.
We'll see you next time. I ain't got nobody to hug.
Oh man.
Hey, produce.
Maybe
What's so funny?
maybe some other time.
Cheers. I don't know if it's on, but I'm getting another warm Kentucky hug.